I'm going to start painting a mural in my meditation room to make it look nicer, to make it look more welcoming and more relaxing, and also because it's very empty. It's supposed to have very little stimuli, but it's a little bit too empty, and I'd like to decorate it a little bit. So my name is Margherita, I'm an artist from Italy, and I specialize in murals and upcycles, and I especially love to paint with what I find or to use materials and tools that I already have. And if you're interested in these kind of things, I recommend you subscribe because I will post a little bit more in the next future. Anyway, in this video, I'd like to show you my process with murals. So how I plan it, how I sketch it, what I use to transfer the design on the wall and all these things. It might be in two parts. So the first part will be the planning, and then the second part will be a time lapse of me doing it with my partner probably, who normally helps me with the murals. So now I'll take you to the meditation room and I'll show you what is the wall like. As you can see, it's pretty empty. There is just a shrine here in the middle. There are our yoga mats here, and there's one small thing here, one small thing here, and the window, and that's it. So I was thinking probably behind the shrine it would be nice to have a tree, possibly also on this corner, so two trees, but I'll start with this side and see how it goes, and then maybe I'll continue with this side. One tree might be enough because, as I said, I really would like this room to be as little stimulating as I can, but at the same time, it is too empty right now. I need something more, something a little bit more relaxing than just a white wall, you know what I mean? Also, a very important part is I don't own the house, and eventually I will probably have to repaint over it. Therefore, I want to do it in pastel colors. So I will mix all the paints that I will use with some white wall paint, because then I know for experience that if you try to cover with white a painting that has dark colors in it, you'll keep seeing the areas of dark color, and it will be really a pain in the bum to paint over it. So I want to make it easy for my future self. I know I will be grateful to my past self when the moment will arrive that I paint over that mural. So yeah, pastel colors, no subjects, because I want the meditation room to be as relaxing as I can. And I'll show you what I did the other night. This is the potential type of subject that I'm thinking. So obviously this is not pastel color. You have to imagine it in pastel colors. And I will tell you also how I do it. So I will show you the process. Right now I have an iPad. So I just take a photo of the wall with the iPad and I draw directly on the photo. And this is very, very useful, especially when I want to be quick and I want to have a real, like, immediate idea of how the painting will look. And sometimes I sketch on my sketchbook and then I put it with Procreate. I overlap it on the photo of the surface where I paint it. So for example, when I painted a caravan in Germany last year, first I made this painting. Something is falling from here. And then with Procreate, I put it over the photo of the caravan to see how it would look. And then when I was satisfied with it, I started painting directly on the caravan. So it's very funny because normally the people who commission these paintings see the photo that I made in Procreate with the painting on the surface and think, whoa, you already did it. But actually, it's just a sketch. It's just to have an idea of how it will look at the end. It's normally a little bit different when it's finished. I took a photo of the wall and now I'll send it to my iPad, and I'll sit on my bed here in the studio to paint a little bit on the iPad directly. If you want to paint a mural and you don't have an iPad, it's not a problem because you can just draw on a piece of paper the space that you need to paint a mural on, the surface, and just make the drawing. It doesn't have the same impact then when you see the final sketch, the final result of the design, but it will work fine. It will work just fine. So you don't strictly need an iPad to do this. This is just this. I wanted to highlight this because when I started doing art, I thought, oh, I need all the equipment and all the tools, and actually, no, I didn't. So if you don't have an iPad and you want to paint a mural, don't worry, you can do it anyway. It is easier with an iPad, but anyway, it's possible without it. So there are some problems with this sketch. I couldn't do the exact same because, first of all, the line of the corner goes straight in the middle here, and that would be a pain to draw this branch in the middle. And because of perspective, then it would look also deformed. So instead of doing one in the middle, I decided to do two on in the sides. And then I noticed that these two, one and two here, look like ice, and this looks like a little monster. And I couldn't have this in my meditation room. I couldn't unsee it once I saw it. And so I decided to change it around and not make it so symmetrical. So these two little flower shapes here are not so symmetrical in the final design. So here we go. This is the final design. And I think I will make one tree only in the room because this is quite dominant. It's quite a dominant creature. And I won't have a second tree like I thought. So basically, the first thing I did, let me show you here. The first thing I did was the base of the tree, and I wanted to be a little bit visible behind the shrine, but not too much. So this is what the shape that I found, and then on it, I tried these three possible shapes. So this was the first one, and as you can see, this is very rough sketch. I knew that the main color was going to be pink, so I started immediately with that color. But I wasn't sure about these two branches looking quite similar, so I tried again, and I made it like the opposite, so symmetrical. The branches look like mirrored almost, but this had this two eyes situation that I didn't like, so I tried again, and I found this situation here, which convinced me much more. And once I had this sketch, on top of it, I did this one. So of course it's a little bit different, but it's just to make it much more refined to understand what is the base that I'm going to work with in terms of the shape of the tree. So this is the basic shape, and then on top of it I did all the little designs, so all the leaves and the circles and all that. So I can delete this, I think. And this was the first, let's say, the first final sketch, and then I put colors on it. And to put the colors, this is what happened after. So actually you will see it's a little bit different because, where is it? Here I have some zigzaggy shapes. I don't know if you can see. Yes, you can. Okay, I have the zigzaggy shape, and I looked at it and they weren't convincing. So I tried something different in the colored version, which is this one. So I don't know if I will keep this exact pattern in the branches. I like everything else, and I will start doing everything else on the wall, but I think I will leave this just pink, and then once I have the rest done, I will check and possibly take another picture with the iPad and draw over it to figure out like what is the best solution. And my partner will help me to understand what's the best choice. So the usefulness of having another set of eyes to look at the different sketches, the different options. Of course, if you have a client, that's the other set of eyes normally. But otherwise, I mean, you can ask anyone you trust, and I trust my partner for this. What else? To draw the drawing on the wall, I recommend you using chalk, that kind of chalk that is dry chalk, so in pink, which will be the color that I will paint next. And to erase it, don't use the eraser because it will leave a little bit of shininess on the wall. It's better to use a rag that it's a little damp to remove any pencil marks from the wall. Said that, I can show you what paint I'll use. I'll use entirely rescued paint. Rescued paint means that it's all paint that I rescued before it went to landfill, except for this one. But all these ones are wall paints that I rescued when I was living in Scotland. So if you're interested in this, I have a lot of colors. So these were the pinks, and then I have the yellows. I used a lot of them already. Then here there are the greens, I have plenty of, and the blues. With emulsion paint, wall paint, often what happens is somebody buys the paint to make one wall, one small project in their house, and then they have leftover. And all these tubs tubs, they tend to sit in somebody's shed or garage or loft or somewhere until they get dry or they freeze over the winter and then they're not usable anymore. So it's quite a shame. So what I have been doing is I have been writing on Facebook groups, local groups, does anybody have leftover emulsion paint? And the amount of people that gave me the paint is crazy. So I recommend you do the same if you're interested. I mean, it's very low cost, but also it means that you're saving some materials from being thrown away or being wasted. So I find it really brilliant. Anyway, let's choose the colors. The idea is to make a very light pink, and I'll probably have to mix it with white wall paint. So I'm thinking maybe I'll put a little bit of this together with the white, just a little bit, and I think this will give me the right color. Another option could be this one. I could do the same with this one. So let me put them out here. And then, this is very nice, but I think I won't use it. Okay. And then, for the yellow, I think maybe quite like this one. Yes, I think this is the one. There's not so much inside, but I don't need so much. And anyway, it will be mixed with some white paint. Okay, so we have the yellow, and the last one that I wanted to make is the blue. So this is actually furniture paint. It's quite nice. Maybe this one, but there's not so much left. So maybe I'll use a darker blue, and I'll just put a little bit of it in the white. Oh, this is quite nice, actually. Yeah, maybe this one, actually. Yeah, okay. So the blue, I don't have to mix it because I think this is light enough, probably. Or maybe I'll put a little bit of white in it. I would like to make this information available also thinking, imagining that this could be the type of channel that I would have liked to follow when I started taking my art seriously in 2018, when I was 30, after studying art officially and working in the art world and getting a little bit scarred by it, actually. So I hope you like this video, and if you do, have a look at the other videos that I made as well. Decide for yourself if you want to subscribe. I would love to have you here, of course. It really helps me, but also I really enjoy interacting. So of course, when you start a YouTube channel, you have pretty much nobody interacting. It feels like you're throwing rocks in the void or something. But it's really nice when people start interacting. So if you do appreciate what I do, send me something, send me a comment or anything, because I know for myself that I tend to not do it, to just enjoy other people's work online, other creators' work, and then I don't comment. I sometimes have to remind myself, okay, leave a comment to this person to show that, you know, that somebody exists in the world and somebody is appreciating their content. So I thought of leaving this as a reminder as well for people who might be like me and might not really be inclined to interact so naturally. Also, I have a website that you can visit, and also you can follow me on other social media. I'll leave the links below here. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video where I'll paint the tree finally in the meditation room. Thank you for being with me today.